Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into some serious personal power?
Ooh, yeah.
We're going to unlock the secrets to taking control and really achieving those big goals.
Sounds good.
And for this, well, we've got some amazing insights from this goal achievement expert, Brian Tracy.
I think his advice is it's surprisingly straightforward,
Yeah,
but it really cuts through all the noise.
right to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, it gets to the heart of what it really takes to succeed.
You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that actionable advice.
Yeah,
And Tracy definitely does not disappoint.
not at all.
We're going to be diving into his core message about personal responsibility.
All right.
And trust me, some of his ideas are real eye-openers.
Oh, he definitely challenges some conventional thinking. For example, like one of the first things he says is, look in the mirror.
You know, we hear that phrase a lot.
Right.
But what does it really mean, like, in the context of reaching our full potential?
Well, it's about radical ownership. Tracy believes that before you can change anything, right, you have to own your current situation.
The good, bad, and the other.
The good, the bad, everything in between, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so tempting to blame all these external factors for our setbacks.
Oh, yeah.
But he argues that until you actually take responsibility, you're essentially stuck.
It's like admitting that you're the driver of your own life.
Right.
Not just a passenger.
Exactly, yeah.
But where do we even begin to take ownership?
Well, Tracy is very adamant that excuses are the enemy of progress.
Okay.
He sees them as just signs of weakness and a victim mentality.
Yeah.
He says the moment you start making excuses is the moment you start relinquishing control.
I've definitely been guilty of that.
We all have.
You know, blaming a lack of time or resources.
Yeah.
But is there a difference between explaining a situation
Mm-hmm.
and making excuses?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Explaining is about understanding the factors involved, while complaining is about dwelling in that negativity
Right.
and avoiding action.
Okay.
So Tracy even tells this story about the actor who plays Jack Bauer in 24.
Interesting.
He noticed that people, who feel like their lives are spiraling, they often use this kind of language.
What kind?
Like, he did this to me,
Okay.
or they did that to me.
Right.
It's this constant victim narrative.
So the way we talk about our experiences actually reflects our level of ownership.
It really does, yeah.
That's a powerful insight.
It is, and Tracy argues that this victim mentality actually erodes our self-esteem.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it sabotages our ability to achieve those goals that we set out for.
Okay.
He believes a high achiever, their motto is basically, if it's to be, it's up to me.
Right. That's a complete 180.
Right.
From waiting for things to happen to making them happen.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see how deeply our language and our mindset are really intertwined.
Totally, yeah.
What are some common excuses we should watch out for?
Oh, there are so many.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time.
Oh, the classic.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not talented enough. It's too hard.
Yep.
These are all ways of us avoiding that responsibility
Right.
and staying stuck.
Because you got to get unstuck.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Tracy would challenge us to reframe these thoughts and just ask, what can I control in this situation?
So instead of focusing on the limitations,
Yeah.
we should focus on the possibilities.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that.
And Tracy has this really fascinating way of looking at responsibility.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
He breaks down the word itself.
Okay.
Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
I like that. It puts the emphasis on our power to choose how we react.
Right.
Yeah.
He believes that every challenge, right,
Mhm.
is an opportunity to grow stronger by developing these effective responses.
Okay.
It's not about avoiding problems,
No.
but learning to navigate them in a way that, keeps moving you forward.
It's almost like pre-programming yourself to handle any situation with a solution-oriented mindset.
He actually recommends doing just that.
Oh, wow.
Imagine if you decided in advance
Okay.
that you'll approach any challenge with calmness
Right.
and resourcefulness.
Yeah.
It's about shifting from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Think about like a current challenge that you're facing.
Mm-hmm.
How would a responsibility mindset change your approach?
Instead of feeling trapped or defeated, you would feel energized to find the solution and take control of that situation.
Right. And that leads us to another one of Tracy's bold claims.
Okay.
One that's, I think, particularly relevant in the workplace.
Okay.
He says that we're all self-employed, regardless of who signs our paychecks.
Yeah, it might sound a little radical,
It does.
but he's essentially saying that when you approach your work with this ownership mentality, it leads to, greater commitment
Yeah.
and better results. It's about going above and beyond, thinking like an entrepreneur, even if you aren't one.
Right.
Right.
I can see how that would boost motivation and drive.
Totally.
But wouldn't that blur the lines between work life and personal life?
Right.
Where do you draw those boundaries?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But Tracy isn't suggesting you work, 24/7 or around the clock.
Right.
It's more about the attitude you bring to your work.
Okay.
And he says, when you adopt this self-employed mindset, your language changes.
Okay. How so?
So instead of referring to the company as they, you start using we,
Oh, interesting.
like you're a part owner.
So even our word choices can reflect our level of ownership.
It really can, yeah.
I like that. What other shifts might we see in someone with this mindset?
Well, they take initiative, right?
Yeah.
They don't wait around for instructions.
Mhm.
They're always looking for ways to contribute beyond those assigned tasks.
Right.
Thinking about that bigger picture. It's like they're running their own mini company
Yeah.
within that larger organization.
That kind of proactive energy, it's contagious, I feel like.
It is.
Imagine if everyone in a workplace embraced that level of ownership.
Right.
What kind of impact could that have?
I think it would be a complete transformation.
Yeah.
You'd probably see a surge in productivity,
Yeah.
innovation, overall job satisfaction.
Right.
People would be more engaged,
So accountable,
more accountable, yeah.
more invested in the company's success.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of something else Tracy said about personal development.
Okay.
He compares it to managing a stock portfolio.
Interesting.
He asks, are you a growth stock?
Okay.
Are you constantly increasing your value through learning and skill development?
I like that analogy.
So just like investors want to see their stocks appreciate, we should be actively investing in ourselves to become more valuable assets
Right.
over time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tracy believes in taking 100% responsibility for your growth,
Okay.
regardless of whether your employer offers you training or not. It's
Okay.
about constantly looking for opportunities to expand your knowledge and skill set.
That could involve taking online courses, attending industry conferences,
Yeah, for sure.
even reading books and articles related to your field.
Totally.
There's always something new to learn.
Always.
What's one skill that you think would be valuable to focus on developing?
I think it depends on your individual goals and what your field demands.
Okay.
But I think for a lot of people, mastering effective communication is key.
Right.
Being able to really clearly articulate your ideas,
Mm.
build those strong relationships,
Yeah.
influence others.
Right. That's invaluable.
That's invaluable in any profession.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
Good communication skills can open so many doors.
for sure.
And speaking of clarity, Tracy emphasizes the importance of understanding what results are expected of you in your role. He has a rather unconventional suggestion for achieving that clarity.
Oh, what's that?
He recommends writing a job description for yourself
Interesting.
and then having your boss prioritize it.
Hmm.
It sounds bold, but I can see how it would force you to think critically about your contributions
Totally.
and ensure you're aligned with your boss's expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about being proactive and making sure your efforts are making a real impact.
But of course, things don't always go according to plan.
Right.
That's where Tracy's philosophy on problem solving comes in.
Okay.
He makes a clear distinction between how winners and losers approach challenges.
Right.
He says winners focus on solutions,
Yeah,
while losers dwell on blame.
that's right.
Winners see setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow,
Yeah.
while losers get stuck in a cycle of negativity.
Yeah. It's all about mindset.
It is.
Are you going to let that problem define you?
Right.
Or are you going to use it as fuel to move
Or
forward?
is it as fuel?
Yeah. Tracy offers this practical 4-step approach to problem solving.
Okay. I'm like,
First, define the problem clearly.
okay.
Then, identify those root causes.
Okay.
Next, brainstorm some potential solutions.
Okay.
And finally, focus on taking action to implement those solutions.
I like it. Simple, but effective.
Right.
And it emphasizes taking ownership of the situation rather than getting bogged down in the blame game.
Totally.
What's interesting is that Tracy argues that accepting responsibility actually leads to greater support from others,
Yeah.
which seems kind of counterintuitive at first.
It does.
But think about it.
Yeah.
When you demonstrate ownership, proactivity, a solution-oriented mindset,
Yeah.
you inspire confidence in others.
You do.
People are more willing to help someone who's already helping themselves.
Absolutely.
It's like that saying, you can't help someone who won't help themselves.
Right? Right.
Yeah, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is.
The more responsibility you take, the more support you attract,
Yeah.
which further empowers you to achieve even greater things.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not alone on this journey.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who want to see us succeed,
For sure.
but we have to create those conditions
Right.
for that support to flow.
So stepping into that ownership role, it isn't just about personal empowerment.
Right.
It's also about creating that ripple effect
Yeah.
of positive change
Yeah.
in our relationships,
Absolutely.
even our workplaces.
Yeah. Brian Tracy's message is a call to action,
Yeah.
a challenge to, become the architects of our own lives.
Right.
He reminds us that true success starts with looking in the mirror and taking ownership of our present reality.
Of our choices.
Or choices, yeah.
Our responses.
Our responses, exactly.
It's about shifting from a victim mentality to a creator mentality.
Right.
From blaming circumstances to shaping them.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not about being perfect.
Right.
Or never making mistakes.
Of course not.
It's about learning from those missteps.
Right.
Developing resilience. And constantly striving for growth.
Absolutely.
So, what's the one key takeaway
Yeah.
you hope our listeners walk away with from this deep dive into Brian Tracy's wisdom?
Well, I hope they realize that taking radical responsibility for their lives,
Yeah.
it's not a burden. It's
Right.
a liberation.
Okay.
It's the key to unlocking their true potential
Right.
and creating a life filled with purpose and meaning and achievement.
It's about recognizing that we have the power to choose our responses,
Yeah.
to shape our circumstances,
Yeah.
and to become the masters of our own fate.
Absolutely.
It's a journey
It is.
of continuous learning, growth, and yes,
Right.
even setbacks.
Of course.
But with each challenge we overcome,
Yeah.
we become stronger, wiser,
Yeah.
and more capable of achieving our dreams.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. When you step into your power and embrace responsibility, you'll find that the world is ready to support you every step of the way.
So, keep diving deep.
Keep exploring those big ideas.
And most importantly, keep taking action to create the life you truly desire.
That's it.
Until next time, remember, you are the master of your fate.